No, Daejun, Naeun was shouting. Really me. I'll never stop being that jackass Jun, the main character thought. We see Kim squeezing the main character's throat hard. You said Lim Daejun could handle that guy. Cho spoke. I thought he was a good fighter, but he went off the rails a couple of times. Who knew he'd be stabbed? Cha answered. We see the continuation of the conversation on the phone in the auto repair shop. In any case, don't overdo it. There are guys who can't fight no matter how much you teach them. Cha continued his speech while holding a coffee in his hands. Not everyone is a genius like you, Cha said on the phone. Really? Cho said, continuing his thought while talking on the phone. That he has all the makings, Cho said. The second rule in a street fight. Lim thought. We see how hard it is for the main character to have a neck that is squeezed with two hands by an anvil. Block their vision, Lim thought. We see the main character spit in Kim's face. My eye, the thing, Kim said as he tried to rub his eye. We can see that Lim has finally started to breathe. I'll finish them off, Lim said. At this time, the main character struck Kim in the face. Still trying, Kim said. At this time, the main character continued to hit Kim's head. At least 100 days in a row, bae, the difference will not be, Kim said. A smile can be seen on his face. Third in a street fight, Lim thought. We can see his serious expression. Find something suitable at your fingertips and, thought Lim. We see Lim grab a glass bottle. Strike, the main character thought. We see Lim hit Kim in the face with a bottle. The bastard's gone off the rails, Kim thought after missing a shot. We see that Kim missed another hit to the face with a bottle. Straight, jab, straight, jab, Lim repeated, throwing a series of punches at Kim's face. Enough, Naeun said. Daejun, Naeun said. We can see her confused face. You've got blood all over your hands, Naeun continued. We can see that the glass bottle has started to crack and Lim has blood on his hands. It's better than nothing. Lim thought as he threw a strong right hand right at Kim's head. I was already stabbed last time. Lim thought as he recalled his last fight with the bandits. You think? Thought Lim. We see Lim hit Kim's head with a bottle. Kim is bleeding a lot. Direct, Lim said. We see that from the last blow of Lim, the bottle broke down and broke into pieces. Am I afraid of something like this? Lim thought after delivering his punch. We can see that Kim took significant damage from missing punches. Daejun, you can stop now, Naeun screamed, trying to stop Daejun. The jab, Lim repeated as if he had become spellbound. We see Naeun crying and trying to stop Lim. He's already unconscious, Naeun continued. We see Kim lying on the floor unconscious. Did the little boy beat up this giant? Naeun's father wondered. We can see his surprised face and there are traces of beatings on his face. If ever again. If I see you hanging around, I'll kill you, Lim said. We can see traces of the battle on the main character's face. And all the bastards like you. I'll tear you apart, the main character said. We can see the anger on his face. This time it wasn't luck. I finally whitewashed it on my own, Lim thought. Are you okay, Daejun? Naeun asked. We see Lim fall to his knees after the fight. I'll just get some rest, Lim thought. We see the main character's eyes close. This is just the beginning, Lim thought. What's going on here? Asked the bandits who entered the pizzeria. I thought he'd already found it, but I couldn't pick up the phone. But it looks like he was knocked out. A bandit with light-colored hair asked. It couldn't have been done by Choke and that girl, another bandit answered. Wow, maybe this uncle is stronger than he looks. Will you fight with us? The bandits asked with a grin. This, the pizza shop owner answered. Hey, I cut that pig's throat, Lim said as he got to his feet. Daejun, you can barely stand up. Naeun was saying. Lim waved Naeun out of the way. A foot-to-fist control jab. Something Lim wasn't saying clearly. I made it all up, Lim thought. If this is how I can bury those scum. Lim thought as he recalled his humiliation at the hands of Lee Doyun's gang. I will continue to fight no matter what, Lim thought. I'll beat you both up, Lim shouted as he looked at the bandits. What was that madman saying? One of the bandits said. We see a blur of the second bandit. We see that the head of the bandit who just spoke out was hit with a fist. They show us Lim's surprised face. Kim Teek walked into the pizza place. Kim Teek? Lim was surprised. We are shown the aftermath of the attack on the pizzeria. Kim's gaze went down. How did you get here? Lim wondered. We see the surprised faces of everyone who worked in the pizzeria. You did a good job. I'll take care of the rest, Kim said while braiding his hair into a ponytail. Bring. We see two bandits who have already managed to get from Kim. Who can't wait to die first? Kim asks. We see Kim rolling up his sleeves to get ready for a fight. We see the pizza place where Lim recently defeated Amble. Next, we see Lim and Nayeon's surprised face. The bandits decided to attack Kim together. We see Kim preparing to throw a left-handed punch. Next, we see a page where Kim throws a left-handed punch to the attacker's head. The second attacker was kicked in the head. How strong, Lim thought as he watched Kim smash the bandits' faces in. Kim Teek thought Lim. We see Kim preparing to kick. On the next page, we see the kick itself. Damn strong, Lim thought as he watched Kim scatter the bandits. We see the pizzeria again. Tell me, Kim said. Who sent you? Kim asked, holding one of the gang members by the scruff of the neck. Speak, you're the one who gassed us, aren't you? Kim asked as he threatened the bandit with his fist. Wait a minute, the bandit replied. Chun Kai-un. The bandit replied. We can see the surprise on Kim's face. Chun Kai-un ordered us to do this. But I had nothing to do with your poisoning. The bandit continued to talk. We see the surprised faces of Nayeon and his father. For don't. Before the bandit could finish his sentence, he was kicked in the head. I knew it was those bastards from Gwanghi. Kim said he was standing on the beaten ground by the bandits. Gwanghi? Lim asked. Who are they, and why would they do that? Lim asked. Was that what the guy was talking about? Lim thought about what he had heard, remembering his first fight in which he had won. Having lived here, you probably already realized that there is a problem with security in this area, Kim said. We see Kim standing with his back to the audience. It's been a long time since the police gave up on the endless fight against local crime, and this completely untied the mafia's hands, allowing them to conduct their business in peace. We see various representatives of gangs and the moment when a man is attacked by a bandit with a knife. So they're mafia members? Lim asked, looking at the big guy he was able to knock out. A mafia group, Kim answered. They were destroyed by a criminal group in the area. Kim continued his thought while looking at Lim. Gwanghi, that's what they call themselves. We see a group of faces standing in the shadows. Gwanghi controls this place just like the mafia they took out. We see a group of bandits standing over the victim. And the most evil bastard in Gwanghi is called Chun Kai-un. We see Chun in full growth. Most likely, they targeted us because of the fact that, Kim said, we see a shocked Lim. We got in their way when they tried to take over our part of the neighborhood. Kim said, we see that Kim and Cho beat up members of the Gwanghi gang. To think that they would come all the way here, even though we made it so they couldn't get to the pizza place, Kim said. Tech, actually, continued the owner of the pizzeria. Our restaurant is already being looked after by Chun Kai-un. Nayeon's father continued to hold her head in his hands. And why have you been silent all this time? Kim asked. There was no way I could talk about it, Nayeon's father said. After all, the cruelty of these scum. We see Nayeon's shocked father. Something burns in front of him. There is no limit. The owner of the pizzeria continued his story. We see a burning building. Didn't they say that the fire was caused by a short circuit? No, mister. Kim has something wrong in the kitchen. Passers-by talked while discussing the fire. Are you all right, mister? Kim? How could the fire have? asked Nayeon's father. Kwan, Kim said. What? Nayeon's father asked. This is the work of the people from Gwanghee. Kim spoke while holding his head with his hands. I couldn't get you into any more trouble with these lunatics. We see Kim's angry face. Same thing, Lim thought. We see the main character upset. Thank you for helping us, Dajun, Nayeon said, her whole body shaking with fear. School. Streets. We see Lim trying to comfort Nayeon. But they might come for us again, Nayeon continued. I'm scared, Nayeon said. At this time, tears were streaming down her cheeks. There are bad people everywhere, Lim thought. These scum are everywhere, and if you can't avoid them then? Lim thought as he recalled being bullied by Lee Doyoung's gang. We see the main character's angry face. Jun Kai-woon, ye made it to the pizza place? Cha asked while talking on the phone. Heck, yes, when he had time, Cha said. Those bastards from Gwanghee decided to run over us, Kim said. We see that the conversation between friends continues. We must take retaliatory measures against them. You know how dangerous Chun Kai-woon is, Kim said as he continued his dialogue with Cha. First things first, make sure they don't get to you, Kim said. We can see that Cha was paying attention to what was happening to his left. Cha Daeb? Kim asked. We see that the bandits are smashing up the store, and a grandmother is sitting on the ground with a child. We see a close-up of bandits who destroy everything. The child is crying, and the grandmother is trying to calm him down. Ah, two. Cha said. What? What's going on there? Kim asked. I have to go, Cha answered. We see that Cha is going to help the grandmother with the baby. Oh shit. Should I hit you to make it better? The bandit asked while holding a stick. I'm sorry I stopped to rest because I wasn't feeling well, but I don't have much. The old lady replied. We got your excuses. Give me the money, the bandit said as he swung his stick. Cha's hand stopped the stick just before it hit. We see a grandmother who closed her eyes and prepared for the impact. Who else are you? The bandit asks. We can see that Cha is ready to fight. Next, we see that Cha delivered a direct blow to the bandit's head. The thing, do you even know who you're running into? We are Gwanghee, a group of scumbags said. We see 4 representatives of Gwanghee. Oh, really? Cha asked. We see Cha running in the direction of the bandits. On the next page, we see that Cha jumped high up. And I do fuck, Cha said while smiling. We see a broken shop window. Phew. Fucking assholes, Cha said. We see that the bandits are lying on the ground after the fight with Cha. Are you like Grandma? Cha asked. Behind you, my grandmother answered. We see that the child is in the place of the grandmother crying. Next, we see a bloody bat. We see that the blow hit the head from behind. Cha fell forward. I found one. We see Chun standing with his gang. Cho Hangul 6, Chun said. We can see the smirk on his face. Who the hell did you call a 6? Cha asked while holding his head with his hand. We can see that he was bleeding from the blow he received. We see the main character's house. So what do we do now? Hong asks. We see that all the friends are gathered in the house. We need to get out of here. What was it about this pizza place that made you decide to contact Gwanghee? How could an escaped asshole like you help them? Hong asked Kim while waving her hands. I'm sorry I dragged you into this, Kim said. But we see Kim's mouth. They were making delicious pizza. Kim continued. Kim said while looking at Hong. What did the man on the head just say? Hong asked. Is he even right? Ha said. Why are you nodding? Hong asked. We see a heated discussion between friends. Take this seriously. Are you insinuating that we should deal with them with our own forces? Hong was shouting at her friends. Well, said Kim. And where is Joe Hangul when you need him so badly? Hong asked. And what will happen to the guys now? Lim thought. By the way, when is Da-yeon supposed to be back? Everyone received a notification on their phone at the same time. They all received a notification from Cha Da-yeb. We see Hong's surprise. In the image sent to friends, we see Cha sitting on the floor with his hands tied. It is in a terrible state. I sent a message to all my friends. Abandoned factory near Zuzan Woods. We see Hong's grin. The creatures, Hong said while looking at the photo with Cha. We see an abandoned building. Hey hey, Chun says while slapping Cha's face. Why don't your friends come? Chun asks Cha. We see Cha's bloodied face. If they don't show up here in 10 minutes, I'm dead. Before Chun could finish his sentence, Cha interrupted him. Kill me, Cha said. They'd be better off with one less mouth, Cha said. We can see the smile on his face. Dumbass. You're bluffing, Chun said as he swung the bloody bat. We see the four of them approach an abandoned building. We see a flashback in which Hong talks about the upcoming battle with bandits. Right, we'll take over, Kim said. We see a bunch of bandits who are serious. All of Guanghe. Kim continued. We see a smile on Chun's face, and also serious guys. A few minutes earlier, Daejin, Kim turned to the main character. We see that the whole company is going to deal with Guanghe. Are you sure you want to go there? If not, leave while you still have a chance. Kim said. We see that all the friends have turned to look at Lim. I can help. Lim said. Are you sure about that? Kim asked. We see a dialogue between two friends. Are you sure you won't be a burden to the others? Kim asked. We see a frustrated main character who realizes that he will have a hard time. We see the abandoned building again. The entire gang surrounded Joe Hangel's family. Too many of them here. At least 10 people, Hong said. Si cha da eba? Kim asked. We can see that Lim is surprised by the number of bandits. He's in there, said one of Kim's friends, and the one next to him is Chun Kai-un, one of my friends asked. We see Cha sitting on the floor with his head down. Well, what are you doing here? I could have easily escaped myself, Cha said. At this time, a baseball bat was flying at the back of his head. If you touch him again, Kim said. The what? Chun asked. We see the anger of all the family members. What will you do if I touch him? Chun asked while he was standing on Cha's head. The Hangul family was praised so much, they said you were strong, but in reality you were a bunch of suckers. Joe Hangul didn't dare show up at all, Chun said with a smirk on his face. That's what happens when you rely on an idiot like him, Chun said. We see Kim's angry face. Why are you listening to this jerk? Hong asked. Hey, Goatbeard, stop playing the cool guy, Hong continued. You look like a schmuck with your goatee, Hong said, pointing her finger at Chun. Let's see how much more chatter you can do, Chun said. Okay, the bandit continued. Smash these bastards, Chun said. We see a mob of bandits running towards Joe Hangul's family. No matter how strong the guys were, would they be able to handle such a crowd? Lim thought as he worried about the outcome of their fight. Looks like, thought Lim. We can see the surprise on his face. Can they? Lim wondered. We see Hangul's family fighting quite successfully against the bandits. We see Kim preparing to strike. With a single punch, he knocked 3 of them back. Hangul Kim Teek's family. We see how Ha dodged the blow. Scum, said the bandit who didn't hit the Ha. We can see how fast X is approaching his opponent. Ha then deals a series of blows to his enemy. We're in. Hangul Ha Sun Bin's family. Stop shaking and come here, you bastards, the bandit said as he walked towards Lim and Hong. They're coming. I have to protect Geen, Lim thought and closed it behind him. This action raised questions for Hong. Move, you're in the way, Hong said as he pushed Lim away with his hand. Then we see Hong go behind the bandit's back. What is this thing? The bandit said. You'd better let go, the bandit said. We see Hong grab the bandit's belt. Me? Before the bandit could say anything, he flew upside down. Hong performed a deflection throw. Guys, Lim thought. He was shocked by Hong's strength. Hangul Hong Gion's family. And who was shaking here? Hong asked as she warmed up to the next opponents. They're all so strong, Lim thought after seeing the whole family in action. I have to fight too, Lim thought as he watched his friends fight. But I do not know where to squeeze in. Lim was thinking as one of the bandits fell at his feet. We see a bandit running towards Lima. At this time, Kim struck at the bandit. Looks like we've already dealt with half of it. At this rate, Kim thought, but his thoughts were interrupted. Kim noticed something was wrong. Kim managed to avoid a blow to the head with a baton. Thanks to his reflexes, Kim managed to avoid being hit by the bat. "Did you dodge?" Chun asked. His face showed disdain for his opponent. Jun Kai unbastard, Kim thought. I wanted to save it for last, Kim thought. You don't seem so bad, do you? Chun said with a smile on his face. We see how both characters rushed to meet each other. Come on, Chun said. Come here, Chun said. We see that Kim has blocked the bat with his hand. At this time, Lim was hit by a block. He's fast, so it's not easy to dodge. Lim thought as he dodged the bandit's punches. Lim was walking back, but then he noticed that he was bumping into a barrel of firewood. Lim grabbed the log that was burning inside the barrel. He slapped the log across the bandit's face. I did it, Lim thought as he rejoiced at the victory. We see that the bandit was not stopped by this blow, and with a burn on his face, he continued the fight. Don't move, the bandit said. We can see the surprise of Hangul's family. Otherwise, I'll slit that puppy's throat, the bandit spoke, holding a piece of metal at the main character's neck. We can see that the main character's cut is already bleeding. Get on your knees now if you don't want your friend to die here, the bandit shouted. We can see that everyone is paying attention to the situation. Haha, what is it? Fly in, why are you frozen? Chun said while looking at Kim. Kim looked a little confused. Kim lowered his hands. Haha, what are you guys burning up for, you assholes? Can't move because of one kid? Chun spoke with a smile on his face. It would be better to leave this dead weight at home. Haha, Chun continued.